My name is Danielle. I've suffered from endometriosis all my life, despite only being diagnosed at the age of 21, just 6 months ago. Surprisingly, this horrific condition affects 1 in 10 of us girls in the UK, and a shocking 80% of these women aren't even aware that they're suffering from it. I'm making this film to create awareness of this under-researched condition and hopefully help other women to realise that what they're going through isn't normal. Endometriosis is the growth of womb tissue outside the uterus. As with the period, this abnormal tissue bleeds once a month. The endometrial cells have no way of leaving the body, causing severe inflammation. After seeing my Facebook update that I'm making this film, my friends Stacey and Louise suspect that they might have endometriosis too, so I've come straight over for a chat.
Hello! Alright.
Oh, yeah. I didn't sleep last night, but I was just up and down all night.
Yeah, it might be worth going to the doctor and after just saying like about these symptoms.
I didn't even think about this actually because like the amount of times I was up and down, like thought that I was in so much pain. I thought I've got to go, but then I'd be there nothing.
Yeah, yeah.
And just the pain when my head would get worse the more I stressed about it.
I gave up in the end. I just gave up. I was waiting for so long. I just gave up.
Yeah.
But I'm the only person.
Yeah, I've never heard of it until I met you.
Yeah, I never had either. Like you came and told me you had endometriosis, and that's when I had to ask you what it was and all that. No one seems to know what it is. I think they need to raise like awareness of this. Because I mean, a lot of girls that have got this and don't know that they do have it. I think all sorts are wrong with them.
I've just come back from seeing Stacey and Louise. I'm really worried about them. They actually seem to have quite a lot of the symptoms. I'm quite lucky because I actually know what's wrong with me, and it's a lot worse not knowing. I mean, I didn't know for two and a half years. So I've been having a chat with my gynaecologist over the last few days, and we've been talking about different options, seeing as the pain started to come back. And I've got a couple. One of them is I can keep taking the pill and put up with any pain that I have, or I can keep going back for the laser surgery, but the more laser surgery that I have, the more likely it is that I'm going to be infertile. And the final option is to have a hysterectomy. Now, I'm 22 years old, I've only got one child, and I suppose I'm lucky to have that one child, but I really want more, and it's not really a very nice thing to think about when you're in your early 20s, because I'm going to have to think, well, if I have that done, what am I going to do? Am I going to have to adopt or get like my eggs frozen or something? And then if you get your eggs frozen, you've got to have a surrogate mum, and then things can get really messy. And I think I'm just too young to think about all this kind of thing, really. But can we cut? Symptoms of endometriosis may include painful and/or heavy periods, pain during sex, pelvic pain, infertility, and severe mood swings. A friend of the family has heard about the film I'm making as well, and I've got in touch to hear about her experience. Lisa's mentioned some of the advice she's been given by doctors, so I thought it was worth popping over to Cardiff to see her.
When I was first diagnosed, I've been back and forth to doctors for at least a year about it. And I was sort of given things like fibre gel, and and I said, it's that, isn't it? That's not why I'm having the pain. And when I was teaching, I can remember coming out of lessons in such awful pain, thinking I was going to pass out.
What do you think the pain feels like? Because it's really difficult, because people ask you, don't they, what's the pain like? And then it's
yeah, I mean, for me, I would have described it as if somebody had a knife in your abdomen, sort of scraping it around, and because it's very sharp, severe pain, at certain times in the month I'd be lying on the floor crying. Yeah, I was about 26, and the gynaecologist I saw, the first one, was about to retire, and he was a really gruff, difficult man, and he examined me. It was quite brutal, really, and he told me after that, when I said, because I didn't know that much about it really, I asked him, could it leave me infertile? And he said, well, of course it could. As if, what a silly question. And he said, well, the best thing to do is have a baby. And I said, I'm not in a position to have a baby at the moment, you know. And he said, oh, don't talk nonsense. There's a ward full of girls here having them. In the last few years, I've been pain-free, so there is hope.
There is hope then.
I think, you know, the best thing to do is to try and get diagnosed quickly, know your own body. If you're in pain, but keep going back to the doctor, insist on a scan and get treated for it. Otherwise, you know, if you don't get it treated, it's just going to get worse and worse.
So I've just come back from seeing Lisa. Really, really nice experience to speak to someone who is really positive about the condition. And something that I've noticed about Lisa and lots of other people that have had endometriosis is that they refer to it as my endometriosis, which is weird because it's kind of a term of endearment for this like really horrible, painful condition. So I'm going to go home now and have a bit of a rest because I was just before meeting up with Lisa, the pain had started to come back and it was really starting to get quite bad. And I think it's just the stress, and I thought, I don't know what I'm going to do about this film, and I'm not sure where it's going really, but speaking to Lisa's made me feel really positive about the whole thing.
No one knows exactly what causes endometriosis, but there are a number of theories, including immune dysfunction and a suggestion that it's hereditary. After talking to my friends about their experiences, I've decided that I need more information. So I've come down to London to visit Eve, who runs Endometriosis UK, which is the only office in Britain.
So it's such a complex condition that that's why the charity really exists, to try and give women the information that they desperately need.
Because I know that a lot of women, even though like not a lot of people know about endometriosis, and people that do know about endometriosis think it's just the womb, and it does spread to other areas as well, doesn't it?
It does. I mean, it's been found everywhere except the spleen. So some people have it in their lungs, so every month they will find themselves coughing up blood. People can have it in their navel belly buttons, so they have to wear a sanitary towel over their belly button. Some people have even had it in their eyes, so they cry blood, in the brain, which can be quite dangerous. So it's not just the pelvic area. There's a lot of people who are either relations or partners or friends of women with endometriosis phone our helpline, get in touch by email, and just they want to be able to help, but it's so hard because there's not really any kind of way of understanding what a woman's going through, because there's no cure for endometriosis. The treatments aim to reduce pain and improve the quality of life for women.
I've got a really big smile on my face actually.
Why?
No, they were so lovely, and I just thought it was really, really good. Really, really good. And it was really nice to chat to them and realise that there's so many other women out there that actually don't know that there's anything wrong with them. And I suppose I'm really, really lucky because I actually do know what's wrong with me, and that, you know, although it's not completely curable, that there's support there for me. And I've just found out about a group in Cardiff that I didn't even know there's a support group, so I take some of my friends that have endometriosis as well down there, and hopefully, yeah.
If you think you have endometriosis, you can visit the Endometriosis UK website or call their helpline. Don't suffer in silence. What you're going through isn't normal.
I don't think men are rubbish.
No, not
I
me.
just think that men wouldn't be able to cope as well with endometriosis as women could. I mean, they just lie in bed all day, don't they? And go, oh, I've got endometriosis. I can't live. My life is over. Whereas women, we just better equipped for dealing with it and getting on with it.
Really though?
Men think we're so fragile and we can cope with stuff like this. Get your willy caught in your zipper and you're like, oh, my life's over, it hurts.
You've never had your willy caught in a zipper?
I never had a willy, so that's probably why.
Yeah.